What's up, guys? It's Drac, and I just got these in from my friend Walt. Walt is a proud member of the Southeast Nerf Club, which is the Nerf club that I'm a part of down here in the Atlanta region. Now, these have been designed with a variety of foam blast parts in mind, in particular the Fang motor system, and I think he's using some open flywheel parts. So we have everything from the funky voltmeter thing that fits inside here to a foregrip, and my logo is all over this. We've got the Drac logo here as well as on here, and then this says La Sombra. So this is the first time that I've ever let somebody else, not a commissioner, name a blaster that I'm building for like no real particular reason, but I felt like I should show off Walt's parts, and in order to do that, he included a separate kind of mag release and a rev trigger. So I think, and a trigger. Do we have everything here to eliminate the orange from the blaster? We have this. The front end will be orange, but that is about it. It will have an orange tip. We could just remove the jam door entirely, which would get rid of the last bit of orange, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's take Walt's name, La Sombra, and let's run with it. I think we will go with a dark blue. Let's go!
Are you happy now? Are you happy now? Are you happy now?
Alrighty guys, so we're inside here with Walt's parts now. No offense to my friend Walt, but a lot of things in here needed a lot of tweaking. This rev trigger was completely non-serviceable, so you can see not only did I have to build up an entire putty enclosure for it, but I had to build up an entire putty enclosure on the other side, which effectively traps the two together. Now, his trigger was also non-functional. It had way too much on the front end. It interfered with this entire area, so I went ahead and cut that down, but that wasn't enough. It also doesn't have the cutout back here, so it couldn't go all
all the way back. So to fix that, I came in and I cut this out as well. So this strife is now completely like married to these parts. And I say that because marriage is forever. So they are stuck together, whether they want to be or not. But let's swing over, grab our trusty Phillips head. Can't find the one I want. We will use this one instead. Lock this down. Lock this down. Now we do have wires coming out the other end. To his credit, Walt's battery door is very nice. I went ahead and added a metallic blue thumb screw for it. But other than that, I mean, some of these parts were a little wonky. It was difficult to seat the motors in here, but we got there. The switch was a complete nightmare. We ended up having to take a lot of the front end off, so this looks really bad because it's all infill. However, nobody will see that since it's always pressed up into the blaster. So we've got good interaction here. This is very janky. There was a lot of razor blading of this polymer. I just want you guys to see this polymer is very strong, but splits very easily. It's almost fleshy in that way, and that made it very useful for taking planes off to get the right fit here. But that's there. All of our wires are running through. Our voltmeter is mounted, and everything is mechanically fastened down, which means I think that we're finally good to... Nope. No, we are not. Almost. Fool me once. Here we go. So there's a perfect example of what I mean when I say that it cuts planarly very nicely. We can split this off real quick, and now I think we should have a pretty decent fit here for this part. So we have all of the aesthetic bits in place, and we can start locking it down. Is it going to look pretty cool? I sure hope so. After all that custom fitting and tinkering, like, I really want this to be nice. It's very clicky. This is going to be a nightmare. I want to screw it down before I do anything else. And of course, there's no longer a jam door, and we painted with that in mind. But the blaster aesthetically looks very nice. We still have to wire in an XT60 connector, but I think this is going to be good to go. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Alrighty guys, and this is La Sombra. So let's try and get it out here into the light so you can see, but the way that Walt did this kit, it's got my logo all over it. So there we go. You can really see that this metallic purple has an awesome shimmer and shine to it. I am very happy with how the 2K covered this. The white Drac logo is left over from a previous project. Actually, a project I don't think you guys have seen yet, but I had some white Drac logos, so I threw those on as well. The sight has a little bit of heat warping, which is kind of unfortunate, but it says Drac up top. When revving, our voltmeter there lights up. Now, the way that it's been wired, you cannot... Wow, Fang motors are loud. So the way that it's been wired, you can't actually see what the voltage is until it's under load, but that's okay. Again, Walt kind of named this one for me by putting La Sombra on the battery cover. However, that's not the end of the world. It looks pretty good. And I think that we've captured the feel of that relatively well. Plenty of battery tray here means that I put a full, I think, 1200 milliamp hour 3S LiPo inside, which is pretty thick. We've got Drac on both sides. For some reason, this side is really clean. This side is a little rough. I did not finish the white parts. I was very accommodating in the white parts, trying to make sure that the white was all that showed. I forgot about this orange barrel up front, but hey, now it's got an orange tip for safety, right guys? However, blaster looks good. It is consistent in its white and blue nature. Now, the rev trigger is a little funky now. It's pretty mechanical in its nature, and it's very recessed, so you do have to squeeze to get it to function. This magazine release is a little clicky. I think that it's modeled after the Foam Blast one. I'm not positive on that though, but it's rather nice. I don't normally like these ones nearly as much as I like the button, but this one's not bad. It's got decent curvature and beveling on it, so it's relatively comfortable. And then the trigger is weird. I'm just gonna be honest. The trigger is very snappy, but having no space behind it makes it look far more like weapon-istic, and I used to do modifications to triggers all the time to get that effect for various cosplay blasters way back in the day. This one is pretty nice because it does have running ramps on the top and the bottom. So without any more talking about it, let's fire it up because it is a 3S Fang-powered powerhouse. Definitely primary class at this point. Not tier 0, probably like tier 1, given how much has gone into it. We had an issue with the magazine, actually. Come on, Doomlands 2169. What are you doing? You're killing me. And that one is completely spent. I don't know if you guys noticed. I mean, we are only about like 18, 19 feet away from our blaster boards, but a lot of those went straight through. We completely obliterated our blaster board's target here. As far as firing for range goes, they are Fang motors. Come on, guys. Those are pretty clean-cut 100-foot shots. I like that this putters to life. I actually don't mind the omission of the jam door here. You can still get in here for jams. The fact that the cage has a ramp in it prevents a lot of jams just inherently. And, I mean, overall, like, it's cool. It's a cool placement. Normally, I cut out the back here and put them there, but obviously, then if you do put a stock on the blaster, it no longer is visible, so you have to take the stock off to check your voltage. Now, most of the time when I build tier zeros, they're pistol builds, not necessarily full-on primary builds. This is just begging to have a white stock printed for it, and EOC is working on something special, so we might get an addition to this guy before it goes on to its forever home. This is a pretty nice build, but I just don't need that many stripes, guys. Eventually, this will be sold either on the SE&C or given away on Patreon or eBay, maybe. eBay's like a real last resort for us at this point. I love injecting my builds into the SE&C community and rewarding my patrons for their support. But let's fire a few more times. I think that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots left. We ought to be able to hit that target. And we hit it 3 times-ish. I don't know. We hit the blue rim on that last shot, but not the end of the world. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. This is La Sombra, the Shadow. Very, very blue, very metallic. Hopefully that shows up. If you dig that this video is in 4K, hopefully it's actually in 4K. Go ahead and comment down in the comment section below. Be like, thumbs up, 4K, yeah. I don't know. Much love, Nerf on, Drek out, guys. If you want to check out Walt's parts, come do an SE&C war. I don't think that he's actually formally selling these yet. This was just a gift from him to me.